Have you ever just stood there staring at a menu, wondering how on earth your brain is going to decide between the pizza and the salad? Or maybe you're weighing a huge life choice, like a new job versus staying where you are. Well, today we're going to peel back the layers on one of the brain's most fundamental jobs, deciding what's worth it. Let's get right into the neuroscience of value and choice. Every single day you are faced with just a ton of choices, right? Some are tiny, some are life-changing. But how does your brain actually weigh these completely different options against each other? You know, neuroscientists have this really fascinating theory. Think of your brain as running a constant, high-speed, and totally invisible auction. Every single option you consider, from food to money to your social plans, it all gets a bid placed on it in just a fraction of a second. And that bid price in this secret auction, well, that's what neuroscientists call subjective value. And it's not some objective price tag you'd see in a store. It's the unique utility of something to you, right in this moment. This is the core concept we're really going to dive into today. Okay, so how does the brain compare wildly different things? I mean, how does it decide between a delicious meal, which we'd call a primary reward, and something like a cash bonus, a secondary one? It's got to have a way to put them on the same playing field.
To solve this, scientists have proposed what's called the common currency theory. And the idea is, well, it's brilliant in its simplicity. The brain basically converts the value of all potential rewards into a single standardized scale. This makes comparing apples to oranges or, pizza to promotions incredibly fast and efficient.
And what's really cool is we're starting to identify the brain's chief accountants in this whole operation. There are specific hubs that just light up when we're calculating value, especially this one region right behind your forehead called the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, and a deeper area known as the striatum. These seem to be the core centers for figuring out the worth of, well, everything from a piece of cake to getting a compliment. So how do researchers actually see this happening? It's pretty clever, actually. They don't just ask people, hey, what do you like? Instead, they use experiments based on a principle called revealed preference. Basically, your choices between different options reveal your hidden values. And then, using brain imaging, they can literally watch these valuation centers light up in real time, matching that brain activity to your subjective values.
And this leads to a really crucial point. Value is not static. Your brain is constantly recalculating. It automatically discounts the value of a reward if you have to wait for it, if it's not a sure thing, or if you have to work really hard to get it. $1,000 a year from now just isn't worth the same to your brain as $1,000 in your hand today.
So, we have a pretty good map for how the brain processes rewards. But what about the other side of the coin? How does the brain handle punishments, like, say, losing money or facing some kind of unpleasant experience? And this is where things get really, really puzzling for neuroscientists. I mean, compared to the mountain of research on rewards, our understanding of how the brain processes punishment is surprisingly limited. The findings we have are often all over the place, which makes this a major frontier in brain science. This leads to a huge scientific question. Does the brain handle punishments using the exact same valuation system, just running in reverse? Or is there something else going on entirely? Right now, scientists are basically battling it out over three main possibilities for how the brain might be processing the value of punishments. Okay, so the first theory is the simplest. It's all on one unified scale. A true common currency for both good and bad. The same neurons would fire more for a big reward and less for a big punishment, tracking value along one smooth, continuous line. The second theory is a bit different. It suggests the brain has an intensity meter. In this model, the same neurons would fire like crazy for both a huge reward and a huge punishment. They wouldn't be signaling if it's good or bad, just that it's important and you need to pay attention. And then you have the third theory, that the brain has entirely separate departments. One specialized set of circuits handles the good stuff, rewards, and a completely different set handles the bad stuff, punishments. They might be in the same general area, but they're doing totally different jobs. So, which theory is right? Well, the truth is, we just don't know yet. The evidence is all mixed up, with different studies pointing in different directions. This isn't settled science at all. It's a genuine puzzle that researchers are trying to piece together as we speak. Now, you might be wondering, why does solving this punishment puzzle matter so much? Well, it's not just some academic question. Because when this incredibly complex valuation system goes wrong, it has profound and direct links to our mental health. More and more, we're seeing that changes in how our brains value rewards and punishments are a core feature of conditions like anxiety, depression, and PTSD. It's really a fundamental shift in how we're starting to understand these disorders.
Think about it like this. In anxiety or PTSD, it might be that the punishment system is stuck in overdrive, overvaluing potential threats and making the world seem way more dangerous than it is. On the flip side, in depression, the reward system might be muted, undervaluing positive outcomes and kind of stripping the joy out of life.
And the research here is just incredibly complex. For instance, there was a key study back in 2007 that gave us some of the first evidence for that single unified scale. But then, when another team tried to replicate it with a much bigger group of 108 people, that original finding, it disappeared. It just goes to show you how tough this work is and why a single study is never the final word.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that this internal valuation system, it isn't just about what you choose for lunch. It's about your well-being. Our internal sense of what's worth it, that constant humming auction in our minds, isn't just about making simple decisions. It's a fundamental biological process that literally shapes our entire experience of the world, from our daily moods to our long-term mental health. Cracking this neural code isn't just some scientific curiosity. As the very researchers who inspired this explainer put it, this knowledge is absolutely essential if we want to develop the next generation of diagnostics, prevention, and treatments in mental health care. Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought to consider. If a disorder like depression is, at its core, a problem of a miscalibrated valuation system, could future treatments involve finding ways to directly recalibrate the brain's internal auction? Thanks for watching.